Hi everyone, this is Marie Blue Angel here with Sweetcore Brews, the demo. Um, I off screen played the tea game that is found in Chapter 2, at the end of Chapter 2, and I got to unlock some goodies. And by goodies, I mean a couple extra chapters, I believe, not these ones that are labeled everybody's a critic. But these ones over here that I'm slowly getting to with my trackpad here. And these are a few chapters for Zero and a few chapters for Kingsley. Um, so I just thought that it'd be great to continue the demo because can't leave you hanging. We need to see more of Zero and Kingsley. But I will start with Zero. And Zero's chapters are titled Candycoated Hyperlove, which sounds very sugary and sweet. They say that for a shop to be successful, you'll want to capture your customer's attention within the first 3 seconds. Normally, that's no issue for this sort of shop, but on a day like this, when the first thing you'd hear are the lamenting noises of a frustrated witch quarreling with a snarky purple cauldron in the kitchen. I can only imagine what a customer might think in this situation. Flipping through the pages of my recipe book, I side-eye at the bubbling cauldron. Are you having trouble making a recipe, Millie? Okay, Howell. I think I've got the perfect drink to round off this list. I'm going to need you to listen real hard for this one, so get ready. I can already imagine the smirk of his forming on his face, ready to hurl another rejection at me. But joke's on him, because... Oh wait, hang on. How can I even imagine his face if he hasn't shown up once yet? That is true, we haven't seen Howell yet, and Millie hasn't seen Howell. I'm sure you're imagining a fun face. Maybe even a handsome face, Millie. I'll just imagine him as, like, some kind of angry rabbit for now. That should do it. Alright then, how about we add some melty pumice tea to the menu? Pumice? It'll be the latest creation of the Melty Tea series, handcrafted by yours truly. I want to make it with some extra spice and sweet glitter to bring those mango flavors out some more. Ooh, that'd be good. I love mango. And the best part is, I've already got a place where I can get the melty pumice for next to nothing. So, what do you think? I hold my gaze, waiting for yet another one of Howell's split-second quips. Yet, to my surprise, Howell is taking longer than usual to respond. Howell? Are you still there? I wait for another minute, but there's still nothing. Even the bubbles in the cauldron have cooled slightly as I approach it. Whoa, maybe I did check off all the boxes with this one. It usually takes at least 10 tries for me to convince him to change a finalized menu, but I think I have a new record on my hands. Though, don't get your hopes just yet, Millie. Even though I do think we've got a victory on our hands. With the time passing, I can't help but crack a smile with how quiet the cauldron has gotten. This truly is a first, isn't it? At this point, I'm pretty sure he would have said his fill if he really hated the idea. Seriously, is it time to celebrate yet? And if so, then yay? Just as I take a step, however, the cauldron hurls a flurry of pink bubbles straight to my face. One by one, the bubbles each pop, revealing a voice message in a man's voice. That of one very disappointed man. Please, don't. Pop. Tell me, Pop. You slept through Pop. History class? Or are you, Pop, trying to become Pop, an arsonist? At the last pop, I give the cauldron an indignant look. What are you talking about, Howell? Melty pumice is perfectly fine to brew with mango. I even checked online. I know better than to reveal that we've got to source it from a fireworks shop, but at least there's a difference. Despite my rebuttal, Howl isn't having it. Before I can say anything, more bubbles spew out, this time arranging themselves to form a phrase in the air. Huh? The Coney Island calamity of 1878? Wait, what calamity? I wasn't that behind in history class to forget something like that. What calamity, guys? Before the cauldron can start spewing again, I quickly pull out my phone and start searching. It doesn't take long for me to find myself staring at an article, knowing exactly where I'd gone wrong. Oh. So that's why you're not supposed to put melty pumice with sweet glitter. But it does say here that the volcano prop never actually exploded glitter, because one of the clowns happened to be a light witch. So why would they still call it a calamity? Is it just called that to scare people? Or do we have yet another reason to fear glitter now? Annoyed, the cauldron doesn't waste time threatening to spill itself over, taunting me with another round of a pink bubble hellscape. Alright, I get it. No melty pumice, and definitely no sweet glitter. But if it's a no on the pumice, then what else am I supposed to make? Time's running out, but I don't think we should be running the menu as it is. Though at this point, I feel like there's no pleasing you. Is there? I can't stop myself from giving the cauldron a jaded look as I start taking the rest of my recipe cards back. Honestly, all I wanted for us was to get a signature flavor somehow into this menu. I want people to look at our menu and actually feel something, and give them a good memory. Like, you know that feeling when you're 8 years old and your parents take you to Tapioca Park and they buy you some Prism Floss? And the second you taste it, it's like witch or ordinary. You know you're tasting a real magic that's nothing you've ever had before. It doesn't even matter to you that it's just fairy floss or something more, because it's already carved a space in your memories. Then you spend the rest of the year counting the days until you can go back and have some again. That's what we need, Howl. We need our own Prism Floss moment. Very true, Millie. I could agree. I half expect for Howl to have checked out from our chat already, as he usually has a habit of leaving me to lament on my own. Yet, to my surprise, a single bubble trails out of the cauldron and pops next to me with a longer voice message from him. Oh, it sounds like Prism Floss tea it is then. So, when can you start? Huh? Wait, that's not at all what I meant. All I was trying to say was, you're really not being serious right now, are you? Howl, you know better than to do this to me. Seriously, there's no way. Half the recipes online claiming to be the real thing are complete duds. And you know how fairies are. They'll never actually tell. Much to my horror, another bubble pops beside me, this time starting off with a snicker. Then why not start your research at the other source? What's the other source, Howl? You don't mean I should go to Tapioca Park, do you? I don't need another bubble to confirm my suspicions, as this time, once the cauldron goes silent, I know that there's no changing Howl's mind. It's one thing to take on a challenge, but replicating a legendary sweet treat sounds almost downright blasphemous. It could be a great challenge, Millie. Not to mention, the fairies have reimagined tight-lipped long enough with their treasured recipe, or have remained tight-lipped long enough with their treasured recipe that not even confection witches dare try their luck to ask. What's even worse is Howl's going to want to see a sample as quickly as possible. At this point, I guess I really do just have to start my research straight from the source, don't I? With a reluctant sigh, I retreat to my phone, knowing that if I don't already get my theme park ticket soon, I was in for another round of bubble hell. As much as I want to complain, it has been a couple of years since I've gone to Tapioca Park. And the last time I went, well, I didn't exactly go alone, but... Before confirming my ticket, I find myself staring down at the button to add more tickets. Do you think Zero would? Wait. Let's think this through, Millie. It'll be Zero, at the theme park. Just the two of you. And you really think you're going to have the stamina to handle both sweet treats at once? Even I know that I probably don't eat enough sugar to make it through a helping of Zero and Prism Floss in a single day. Though, I guess there's another next vacation day for that. As much as I want to add another ticket to that cart, I force myself to confirm my single ticket. And with that, challenge accepted. Woo, we're gonna go to the theme park. I bet we're gonna run into Zero. Well, I actually made it inside. Tapioca Park, the premier destination for the self-proclaimed theme park foodies. Or better known to the witching world as the place where you likely found out that you weren't an ordinary. And it was all because you accidentally managed to make the carousel go backwards. Or perhaps you were one of the lucky ones whose tongue didn't turn that awful green color after biting into one of those sour pickle cheesecakes. I don't know what that is. I've never tried that. Memories. I do wonder if they still have the honey toast. But first, we're on a mission for some Prism Floss. All the sights and sounds have my senses in a spell as I navigate my way through the park, making my way past the larger roller coasters first. The park map doesn't even do it justice, as with every turn, I find myself in a parade of food stalls and even more thrill rides. As if I didn't have enough of a temptation as it is right now to just go on at least one ride. I was probably hoping for too much to think that I could just go home right after I got some Prism Floss, but I really shouldn't push it. Lamenting my lack of time, I try to at least take in the atmosphere for as long as I can. I wonder how much the amusement park ticket cost. Yet, much to my surprise, I can already spot the legendary stall just a few yards away from me. Oh my. It's actually here. In the same place it's always been. Sure enough, with its drab awning and sun-ridden signs, the Prism Floss stall emanates all of the makings of a legendary theme park hotspot. It's truly a masterpiece, just like the one in my memories. This place really thrives off of the "don't judge a book by its cover" mantra, because it knows that you won't care once you try their Prism Floss. Except, I don't usually recall there being an insane line sprawling out the door, like the one before me right now. I'm already trying to assess the line, and it's not looking like a pretty wait time. With the Prism Floss line nearly colliding with one for the Ferris wheel, I begin to make my prayers before taking my spot. I guess I shouldn't be so mad about this. I did say that I wanted to stick around here for longer. I was just hoping to be one of the giddy ones riding the log flume, or be stuffing my face with some honey toast and braving a line in the hot sun. Then again, this is Prism Floss we're talking about. Just the sight of a family walking past, snacking on some, is enough to remind me of my mission, my brave and noble mission. To be honest, if by the grace of Agnes I can actually pull a Prism Floss tea off, it wouldn't just be a feat for the shop, but an even major feat for tea crafting witches everywhere. Considering how tight-lipped this park has been about revealing their recipe, there's no way that the ingredients can be something as simple as flavored sugar. Then again, before I can finish my thought, the crowd at the front of the line starts making noise and clustering near the edge of the stall. I wouldn't be surprised if they're cheering for their orders of Prism Floss. Oh, Millie. But wait, Now, some of them are moving out of line. Curious, I try my best to gaze over the multitude of heads ahead of me, but the crowd is getting rowdier as some of the guests rush over with their phones, waving in the air. It's when I finally hear it. It's Zero! Zero over here! And there it is. Now the question is, am I still dreaming or not? Hello, Zero. I think you know the answer to that, don't you? Hello, Zero. The second I hear her voice, the heat rises to my face before I can stop it. Sweet Agnes, so I'm not dreaming. It is Zero, here at the park, in front of the Prism Floss stall. And for some reason, there's now an audience abound that won't stop taking photos of her as she's moving in closer. By the time I bring myself to turn around, I can already feel a warm hand tilting my face to hers. So, someone's got a little sweet tooth for today, huh? You must have, if you came all this way to soldier through this line on a day like this. And without a hat. What's up with that? At once she attempts to make some shade for me with her hands, as the rest of the crowd watches. You really should at least brought a veil. But I don't wear veils. Well, you sure will someday with me. So, maybe you want to start practicing? Noticing my expression, she sticks her tongue out at me before inching me out of the line. All right, let's go. No, wait! I can't leave. I've got to get my Prism Floss first. I know that, but you're not waiting in that line. So come on, I've got a shortcut. Taking my hand in hers, Zero doesn't waste time bringing me in tow as she strolls up to the front of the line, where a star-struck guest is next to pay. Oh god, please don't tell me she's going to... Without missing a beat, Zero leans in towards the guest, bearing a sparkling grin. Hey, if you haven't paid yet, would you let me get your order too? Watching from behind Zero's shoulder, I watch as the guest turns as bright as a tomato before mustering a nod. Seriously, you want to do that for me? Well, of course. I'm sure you crave your fairy floss just as much as I do, right? So, tell you what. You can order as many as you like, as long as you promise me one thing. With a tempting laugh, Zero leans in even closer till she's merely inches away from the guest's ear. Now, even the guests have their phones out, watching the spectacle, while I press myself up against Zero, giving her a quick reminder. Without turning around, she swiftly reaches from behind her and takes my hand in hers, stroking it with her thumb while still focusing on the guest. Oh, great. Now it's my turn to blush. Inching closer to the guest, Zero finally addresses the guest in a low, sultry whisper. So, that thing you've got to do for me. All I need is for you to let me be the one to make the order. Okay? Could you let me do that? Or do you need me to say the magic words? What are the magic words again? Huh. How about pretty please, with some sugar on top? No, wait. How about this instead? You're a Capricorn, aren't you? How can you tell? Well, because there's always a certain air to Capricorns. There's never been a Capricorn in my life who I can't count on, just like you. You're all work and no play most of the time, but it's those silly Gemini friends of yours who've brought you out here today, right? Well, the thing is, by you being here, you've started a powerful chain reaction that's going to end in nothing but rewards. Soon, everyone goes quiet in the line as Zero continues to hover over the guest, her gaze more focused than I've ever seen from her before. It's almost like she's seeing something in her mind. Or, well, maybe she really is. That's what it is, isn't it? She's forecasting on that guess right now. Ignoring the phones pressed up to her face, Zero's eyes flicker for a moment before summoning the guest's gaze towards her. You see, that chain reaction. That started because you decided to come here today, to this very park. Those Geminis may be pushing your limits today, making you ride all those roller coasters. But as it turns out, one of them happens to know a certain CEO scouting for a new assistant. And what do you know? Haven't you been looking for a new job, too? Oh, wait, how did you know that? Heh, I told you. There's just something about Capricorns. There's no denying you've been yearning for the office life since your last job went under. But don't worry. All you've got to do is ride that last roller coaster on your list, and you'll walk out that ride with just a rush, but also a business card in those lovely hands of yours. If that guest wasn't already blushing like their life depended on it, they are now. Anyone can tell that Zero is also enjoying this just as much. But the thing is, which part is she really enjoying? Lost in thought, I can't help but stare down at Zero's hand on mine. All this time, she's never stopped stroking my hand. Aw, you guys are hand-holding. And yet, when I look up, I'm seeing her mere inches away from that guest, making them weak in the knees, in more ways than one. And I can't help but wonder, is this what I look like to her? Is this what I look like to her? Even with the phones pressed up to her face, Zero remains committed to making this moment last for the Capricorn. She's not shy about giving them another grin, and with the more she's lingering, her voice is almost too low for me to hear her now. Till I suddenly find my own knees starting to bend slightly, anticipating for the moment she'll finally pull away. But instead, so, now that I've said those magical words, do you think you could do me that little favor? Of course. You can order it, but is that really okay? Trust me, it's more than okay. And just because you're being so generous, I might as well give you a little extra. For lunch, you know. Consider it a gift for all the trouble I've caused you. Oh, but you didn't cause me any trouble. Now. Just let me take care of everything. The second Zero gives them a glittering wink. They don't waste time stepping aside to let her make the order, tugging at me to join her. So, how many did you want, princess? Just 1, or 2, or 10? This has to be the most long-winded way I've ever seen anyone try to cut a line. What? Me? Cut the line? Heh, I don't know what you're talking about. This is sweet, generous Capricorn is who we have to thank. It's a win-win, considering they'll be getting their reward within the next hour. So, I take it you just want 1 floss for now? Just 1. I'd be more than willing to wait the line again if I actually want more. In that case, remind me to buy you a decent sun hat before you do. I stand aside as Zero finishes paying for her order, as she also ends up paying for 3 extra Prism Flosses for said Capricorn. The rest of the line also watches on, their phones still rolling as Zero flashes them all a smile. They're surprisingly more cool about Zero cutting the line than they probably should. If I had all the money in the world, I would at least want to apologize by spying them some. All of a sudden, I watch as Zero gestures to the rest of the line at the cashier. Oh, before I forget, could you also charge me for everyone else's orders? Zero is generous, you know, for the trouble. She had to beat me to the punch. While the crowd erupts in cheers, Zero guides me out of the line with our 2 Prism Flosses in hand. At least we're free from the commotion, until suddenly, Zero gets down on one knee. Where is this going? Her eyes shining bright, Zero holds out one of the sticks of Prism Floss to me. Ahem. Millennium Frisia Blythe. Hey, that's not my middle name. I know, but I figured it'd sound fancier if I added one. So, Millennium Frisia Blythe, will you take this overpriced fairy floss for better or for worse in shenanigans and serenity? And will you give it to the mightiest bite? Will you give it the mightiest bite that you can, so you can make my efforts worth it? Effort? You just bribed that poor Capricorn. With the actual truth, mind you. They've got at least 45 minutes before that CEO gets seated in the same row as them on the corkscrew coaster. By next week, they'll be accompanying them to Tokyo for a conference. Luckily for them, Tokyo's been on their travel list. No matter what you say, I'm still going to say that you bribed them. Well, I had to do what I had to do to keep the sun out of your eyes. If I gotta pay up to do it, then one way or another, you can count on me to make it happen. Well, congratulations, Zero. Really, this has to be the most anyone's ever paid for Prism Floss. Well, some things are priceless, so you're welcome. So, now that you've finally got your hands on the coveted fairy floss, are you actually going to get some before you start dissecting it? Actually, I was just going to start by... Wait, don't tell me. You're forecasting on me right now. How else do you know that I was going to be here? Just as I expected, Zero gives me a chuckle. Huh, that's a good guess. But nope. I decided to go with a much more classic method this time around. After watching you bribe your way through that line, do I even want to know? With another smirk, Zero leans in towards my ear, yet unlike before, she doesn't stop till her lips brush along my cheek. If you really want to know, I just resorted to a certain ancient art to find you. And that's the art of walking into an empty shop and not seeing you there. You tried to stop by the shop? Oh no, don't tell me. You spoke to Howl, didn't you? If you consider having a combo with a cauldron, then I sure did. He was surprisingly a lot less annoyed that I almost broke one of the locks in your kitchen door. But I promised him already that I'd send a guy to fix it, so no biggie, right? Never mind the lock. How did you get Howl to actually talk to you without sounding the security alarms? I just said, hello. Hello, where's the princess? Then I asked him where you went, and well, poof. I'm here, aren't I? Do I dare want to ask Howl what really happened? Nah, trust me. He seemed cool with it. Huh. Sorry, I promised that was my last forecast on you for the day. It better be. Though even I'm tempted to ask you if I'm actually going to get lucky today. About that. Hold it. I didn't mean that kind of lucky. I'm talking about my research. Sure. Well, if neither of us want to be looking ahead, then we should be at least checking out what we've got to work with. Right? Now that you got your hands on some sweet, sweet Prism Floss, courtesy of yours truly, I believe you have to try some first before anything else. So, without further ado, open wide, Millie Blythe. Tilting my face to hers, Zero brings a tuft of Prism Floss to my lips. Within seconds, I'm suddenly swept in the world of sugary goodness that I can't even stop myself from smiling as I take another bite. Mmm, the flavor's still exactly the same. It's like fireworks and snowball fights and long summer nights all rolled into one berry flavor. I know what you mean. It's been a while since I've had some too. If I could stuff the whole thing in my mouth, I would. But I'll probably have to settle with licking the stick off once I run out. You can say that again. For one magical minute, the two of us ascend into our own berry bliss, where neither of us can utter words, but the gasps are plentiful. I should have asked you for another one when I did. I was only planning on taking one bite. Just say the word, and I'll do my magic all over again for you. As soon as she says that, I snap out of my reverie to give her a look. On second thought, I'll just try to preserve this one. Oh, and why is that? Or do you not want me arousing a little something out of someone else to get my way? It's not that. But it is. It totally is. I just don't want her to grin more than she is already. Than she has already. Alright. I won't make you say it today. Consider yourself spared by the fact you have a lot riding on your shoulders with the ways of the fairies and the floss. Come to think of it, have you tried asking any fairies for a hint or two? Believe me, I considered it, but there's a reason why Prism Floss is considered an internationally classified secret at this point. 0. Is this supposed to be a 0? Oh well, that explains why the ones I know are probably some of the best secret keepers in the business. Or maybe that was Millie, sorry. The thing is, what they don't know that between you and me, I'm sure we can at least get this fairy floss to crack for us, even if a little. At least just enough for me to figure out whether they use actual ingredients I can get my hands on or not. The shop doesn't exactly have the most stellar budget. And before you say that you'll cover it, before she can challenge me, I silence her with a peck on the lips. Thank you, but you've already paid for enough. Oh, but are you sure? Because you know how much fun I get out of flashing that credit card of mine. Well, you can use it all you like, but it better not be on me again. Not that I don't appreciate it, but I'd actually like a fighting chance to see if I can make my own fortune if this Prism Floss tea actually happens. You do know that if you manage to pull this off, I'm gonna have to tell my whole fan base about this, right? The idea of a Prism Floss tea is going to bring everyone to your shop like bees to honey, or me to you. How flirty. I guess you could tell them once I have the formula figured out. I just really hope that it's not just the flavor that brings people in, but the memories too. Whenever people talk about Prism Floss, they're also recalling their favorite memories here at Tapioca Park. So to capture that flavor, it's not just about getting the right ingredients, but finding that right spark to remind them of why they love it in the first place. Wow. I wish I had some hearts or bubbles or something to blow behind you to add to this moment, because I'm pretty sure that was a certified magical girl monologue. You have a hard time taking me seriously, don't you? On the contrary, I'm mostly here to make your research worthwhile. Mostly? It'd been a while since I'd had Prism Floss myself, so I got curious. Come to think of it, the last time I was here with my brother, when the corkscrew coaster first opened. We both wanted to be one of the first to ride it. I guess for me, Prism Floss makes me think of my brother, since we both bought some as soon as we got off the ride. Honestly, Prism Floss makes me think of my own family, too. I remember being 6 and begging my parents for some, but then my memory gets fuzzy on the part where I accidentally ran straight into one of the tapioca mascots while eating. Oh, straight. That, the cotton, the Prism Floss into the mascot. Okay. Huh. I hope your parents bought you some more after that. Oh, they did. Which pretty much turned the whole day around for me. At least, it worked out then. But I can't say the same for the last time I was here. Oh, and when was that? You know, I really should be going. Whoa, whoa, what? But didn't you just get here? I know, but I really need to start breaking this sweet down. I've got to get back to the shop. I'm going to need to mix a few things into it or see if I can give it some taste and texture tests. You know, to break down the ingredients for that berry flavor. Yeah, but are you sure you want to leave just yet? I mean, if you're trying to run some experiments, you do have a lot of tools at your disposal here. I do? You're not about to tell me that the carousel's a front for a secret lab, are you? Not exactly, but if you are basically just going to go back to run some stress tests on the Prism Floss, then why not put it through some tests around this place? We're basically in a thrill zone, so you can't tell me that nothing at this park could help you get closer to the truth. Oh my, you're actually serious about this. Well, I guess. Let me ask you, how do you usually run your tests? Normally, I just try to add other ingredients to isolate others. For example, if I suspect there's some kind of fairy-made preservatives, I'd probably try to see something stronger like marshmallow root to see what happens. So you wouldn't have to have any marshmallow extract on you, huh? Or would chocolate-covered marshmallows do the trick? I don't think they'll have marshmallow root in them, but I'm only halfway through my sentence when Zero steps off to one of the sweet shops by the main plaza. I should have known that being here with her was going to be a whole lot different than I imagined. You manifested, though. Millie, you manifested that you meet Zero here. Marshmallow. Strawberry. Blueberry. Raspberry. Vanilla. I don't know. Blueberry. Blackberry? Which Millie's recipe for fairy floss deconstruction. Add in a dash of marshmallow with a cup of strawberry to keep you young forever. Stir in 2 handfuls of vanilla and a handful of blueberry to take you to cloud 9. Shake in a cup of blackberry with a cup of raspberry for a drink so creamy that even a child could enjoy it. Swirl all the ingredients together vigorously until the solution bubbles. Cool. Okay, well that was the end of Chapter 1 of Candycoated Hyperlove. I'm gonna get going for now, but hopefully you enjoyed that. That was quite fun. I can't decide if I'm gonna go straight through Zero's path or if I'll do like alternating with Kingsley. Well, I'll decide next time. But yeah, let me know if you are enjoying this. Do you like Zero? I like Zero. Zero's fun. And I like Millie when Millie's interacting with Zero. And we got to see Howl a little bit, which is very fun. Yeah, so if you're watching this at the end, you should go to Nochi Studios' Twitter account and like their pinned post, because by next Wednesday, if they get 400 likes on that pinned post, then they will add another chapter to the demo. And I would love to have another chapter to the demo, though this is very much plenty already, but I would love to have another one if they're doing a social media challenge for it. So yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!